Welcome back to WASHOE Nevada for episode 3 with me, MrSealyp. In light of recent current events that have happened in the modding world and what machinery is available, I fear I was 24 hours ahead of where I needed to be. The two fertilizer and herbicide sprayers, or say the sprayer and the tank, why did I do that? There's a Holger Sengstock version of the Kuhn pack available now, which allows you to transfer liquid fertilizer between items of machinery and tankers and storage tanks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace the stuff I've got. As you've seen, I've just done a water run, and as I said in episode 1, I think it was, I am going to make use of the facilities that are available on the map. So things like fuel runs, water runs, selling bits and bobs here and there. I'm going to do it. It's not going to be, I'm not going to be doing it all the time, and it's not going to be the main focus of the Let's Play. I'm going to be doing farming, absolutely. But the water run just made me 15 grand, which isn't a huge amount of money. Selling these back, I'm not going to make as much money back, but I need to purchase the new bits because I made a mistake. Plus I need to get a seeder. That's the next step, and we're going to go for a direct drill, but probably one a little bit bigger. Probably going to go for the Vaderstad Rapid A600, I think, because it's the 6 metre. I could go straight to the Pronto, but I think we need to kind of work our way up to it, you know. I could just go and do a couple of fuel runs, make myself 80 odd grand, and then just say, well, I'll just buy a bigger one anyway. That's not really the point, is it? I don't think. That doesn't really matter, whichever way. Where do I want the cell point and configuration point is just here. Let's drop off the front tank. Thank you to everyone who commented, including Jim. Thank you. When I was trying to sell the fuel up at the top of the hill, and I was trying to put the fertilizer into the tank, I didn't have the correct tool highlighted. So when you select the tool by pressing triangle, like now, to lower that, I'll just drop that off. That's why the unload symbol wasn't coming up, because I had the truck highlighted and not the trailer. So, you know, typical me. Never mind. So let's sell that for 31. Let's sell that. Let's buy what we actually need. I mean, I assume it's going to work. At the end of the day, I'm no worse off, because if you watched my mod review on it, if we go to crop protection, you've got the standard in-game ones here, and then you've got over here the modded ones. The slot counts are the same, the prices are the same, there's no difference. So what's the difference? That 2-2. That was only 1-3. Ah, that's why. But that's what I'm going to go with. So I'm going to go with this one, the modded one by Holger Sengstock, and I'm going to change it. Of course, I am to exactly how I had it. I like that. Yep, I'm going to leave it standard. So when I unload, it shouldn't unload into pallets. It should unload. You know. Well, so there we go. And buy that. Actually, we shouldn't be too much out of pocket. For some reason, I had it in my head that I'd bought the Metris, and I hadn't. I bought the Deltis, which actually is a smaller capacity than I had the. What did I have? Yeah, I had the Hardy Mega. So it's a slightly smaller capacity, but it does have the option to do those things. Plus, I can do that. Ah, now do I want to do it? Sorry, mumbler. Let's go back to that, and the main colour do that. That's better. Okay, leave that standard. Buy that. I think what we'll do while we're here... Oh no, hang on. I thought I'd show it simply because if I suddenly start an episode and I've got different equipment, then the comments will be, hang on a minute, what happened? So whilst this is just me buying some new equipment or swapping equipment out, it needs to be shown. This may have a narrower spread as well, I can't remember now, but it does, again, that's really not the problem. The problem? A problem? Something to do with problems. Right, let's put that in there. This is where we test this out. So that's all that was left in that. Now, as for running, I had a couple of comments left about running with beacons on and hazards, and that's totally unnecessary. It may well be. Doesn't really matter. I know the comments were about something in the US, you don't do that and you wouldn't do normally, and hey, I'd rather be safe than sorry. I'd rather be seen. At the end of the day, it really is not that big a problem, is it? Surely. There you go. So with this new modded one, I can unload directly from that, because I had that issue that it unloaded to pallets, then I had to put it into something to unload into the storage point. Don't have to now. That is a purchase well worth it. Someone commented to say, I know I keep saying that someone commented, but that's the point. My feedback and the comments on videos come from subscribers. They come from people watching the videos. And somebody had said when the mod came out that they thought Holger Sengstock quite clearly plays on a lot of these maps, because what happens is I think Holger Sengstock's a he. Why isn't that coming? Oh, because I'm not on that piece of machinery. There we go. Because mods seem to come out to fit. There seems to be a problem you come up against and think, oh, that doesn't work. And then all of a sudden a mod comes out to solve that problem. So quite clearly a player of the game, or another person like Jim that just reads feedback, follows what people are doing and says, you know what, I can solve that problem, which is absolutely fantastic. Right, next up we need a seeder, because I need to seed our field. Let's park these up. And also I like the fact with this mod, with all the customization with colour and all the rest of it, the fact that the slot count hasn't gone up at all, I think is brilliant. And having it that you can personalise it as well. I know a lot of people are saying I don't see the point. What is the point of having mods coming out which are just copies of ones we've already got? And again, yeah, there is some merit to that argument. because people want to see new mods. And there's an argument as well with maps, and one of the few people that are doing it at the moment is Jim on this map. There's a lot of maps that are being ported over from 17 because a lot of people like certain maps. But what I think people are now saying is we need to be getting fresh maps, you know, new places to explore and try, rather than just converting a lot of the older ones, which are nice to have, don't get me wrong. But I think people are going down the route of saying we want something new, something different. But again, on console, I'm just saying what people are saying. At the end of the day, we always get told, oh, on console you should be thankful you've got anything. It's not a case of being thankful. We're grateful to modders for modding. The same as the PC guys are. Let's be honest, yeah, there are way more mods available on PC because of the fact there are no restrictions on PC to be able to do that. But we're all grateful to modders. At the end of the day, you know, even if there are the people out there that complain and moan and say there aren't enough mods, and I'll say this again, think about the fact that the game released November and we're not even a year into a 2-year cycle. It's FS19, and if FS21 does come out, each one has a 2-year cycle. We're not even a year into that cycle. And I've had loads of comments, people saying, oh, we had way better mods on 17, we had this, we had that. But a lot of the really good mods, there were loads of really good mods, but a lot of the mods people are talking about, we didn't get until the last 6 months of that 2-year cycle on FS17. So be patient. We've had a load of mods. I remember on 17 doing Guide 2 videos where we might get one mod release a day, and some weeks we didn't even get a mod release at all, or we only got one mod released in an entire week. We've had weeks on this so far when we've had 10, 11, 12 mods a day being released. So, you know, I don't know, I suppose everyone's in, and that again is the issue, isn't it? Not an issue, but the point. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. Of course they are. Having a go at somebody saying their opinion is wrong, they have an opinion, you have an opinion. Depends if your opinion's based in fact, of course. If a person's opinion is based on fiction or something made up or something they believe but what they believe is actually incorrect, then yeah, I guess their opinion may be classed as wrong. But anyway, I'm very deep. Whoa, very deep, very quick. Let's, you know, back up a bit, MrSealyp. Right, so the aggro mouse we just sold was a direct drill, but only 3 meters. So it's a big jump up to the Pronto, 104,000. But it does seed and fertilise. But then I have got fertilizer sprayer and spreader, so that's not really too much of a problem. Do I go from 6 metre to 9, or is that too big a jump? I mean, I suppose not really, when you think you can go all the way up to, you know, 18 metre, you know, 24 metre craziness. A 9 metre isn't actually that bad. I'm going to potentially bankroll myself for a little while here. Ah, yeah, I'm going Pronto. Why not? Cool. Oh, which now means, of course, we need some seed. We'll have to do a big old load of seed at some point. It may well be a case, I think, and it's not a bad idea at some point, doing a fuel run or doing a job, you get a big old payment and then just spending all of that money on seed and then transporting it over and putting it into storage. We'll do that at some point. But we've got the option. The ones I normally use are the seed big bags, 2,000 litres to 1,800. I think the seed is pretty much equitable, isn't it? It's 1,000. Oh no, that's pig food. Sorry. Seed big bag 900. Yeah, it's equitable, isn't it? What about on the larger pallets? Because we've got the Pioneer ones now. 2,100 for. Yeah, let's get a couple of those. What are we down to? 44,500. Oops. Okay. will I go back? I suppose I won't be bankrupt because if I could sell all my machinery and everything and still pay the bank. I haven't. Oh, have I got a loan? On new farmer, do you? Isn't that weird? I've completely blanked on. Loan 0. Oh, that's alright, so we don't have a loan at all. Cool, right. Let's fill up. Let's watch that pallet go down. Nice. You're full. Right. Close cover. Now I could seed and fertilizer now at the same time. Seed and fertilizer. Seed and fertilise. And probably I should seed and fertilise, but I don't think at 261 horsepower. What was I? I really should pay more attention when I'm looking at the stats of the vehicle. I didn't actually look at the horsepower requirement because I knew I had the John Deere, so I thought, oh, it doesn't matter, it'll be fine regardless. But then, can I pull it with this or not? Well, yeah, best way to do is probably just try. What crop shall I put in this then? I think we'll go with soybean. Soybean pays out. Soybean pays out well, so it's well worth doing. And it's fairly flat, so I might get away with it. No probs. Case is a beast. Excellent. Right, got to work on that. So while that's doing that, let's have a look at contracts available. See if we can make ourselves a bit of money. Oh, look, so in field 1, 185,000. But if I recall correctly, field 1 is colossal. Where's field 1? Oh yeah, that's the one with the crop circles. Yeah, maybe avoid that one to start off with, I think. What have we got? Harvesting. Field 3, that's still a fairly big one, but it's a 38 grand payoff. Plus we might get a load of crops extra. I could use my own harvester, because I've got my own harvester. I have got a trailer, but it's not a very big one. Oh, mind you, I could borrow the one from the transport company. You know what? Let's accept the contract. Now, I'm probably going to find field 3 is the field that Big Papa C told me was an issue. Potentially. Oh. Never mind. I'm sure it will all be fine. Let's. Oh yeah, because my harvester's. I'm thinking of the wrong thing, aren't I? I was thinking of doing my farm visits with SealyG. I thought it's alright, I've got the Massey Ferguson. No, I haven't. I've got the small case. It's going to take me forever. Right. I should have accepted their equipment. Never mind. We can... Oh dear. Oh, it's going to take a while, but it doesn't matter. It's a contract. We need to make money. I'm not... Like I said, I'm not just going to be making money by selling diesel. That's not the point. I'm going to do it by doing farming, so... Big field, small harvester. maybe brave, or potentially stupid, or a little bit of both. Swing like that way, and let's head to field 3. Oh dear. Don't know why I'm laughing. The view's quite restricted out the front in this case. I'm looking. Nice, and we'll get that fertilised again. So that'll be good to go. That's been coulted, ploughed, limed, fertilised, seeded. One more fertiliser state, and that's it. Job done. There's nothing else to do on that field. I need to earn enough money to buy another field now. That's the next step. Another field, increase our portfolio. Before I even entertain doing animals yet, I need to have enough on the go, because I can buy feed and that kind of thing if I want to. I can go and buy grass and straw and hay, and I can also make total mixed ration fairly straightforwardly. I would need to do some silage, but that's not a problem either. But I think I'd need to buy field 10, the grass field there. Gonna need that. Oh yeah, wow, that is it's a big field. May have just bitten off more than I could chew. Plus the harvest is not particularly fast. I'll tell you what we'll do. I'll see you there in a minute. That's probably the best bet. And so at 3:42. Oh. How's the rotor looking? That's not too bad. Cruise control on. Let's go. Big field, small harvester. We're going to need a bigger harvester. I think what I'll do partway through this contract is I'll probably pause the game. I'll come out and I'll check my messages from Big Papa C, because if it transpires field 3 is the one that he said to watch out for. Yeah, this may not go to plan. I could spend hours doing this and this could go horribly wrong. So we'll just see. So I think I will do. I'm just going to hire a worker very quickly. Just a couple of things I'm going to need to do. Let's hop out. I need to go and get the truck, and what I'm going to do is pop to the transport company. Like I say, they've got a trailer which we can use, so we'll go and grab that. Right, on the way back, grabbing this because that's done. What we'll do is I might as well get our second load of fertilizer on this straight away. It's funny how when you do like a map tour and you go around, and I'll always say, oh no, there's plenty of barn space. You know, there are more shelters, or at least there is one up where the animal pens are. But when you start buying your machinery and then parking up, you start thinking, actually, there's not as much as you think, and then you always wish there was more. But the good thing about this, there's plenty of room, so I can always place more if I need to. Can I get through that gap without hitting the truck? Absolutely I can. Oh, that was lime. Wrong one. So I've emptied the fertilizer out of this, turns out I actually need it. Right, well that's going. Let's go and get the trucks, what I came over to get. Get to the transport company, grab their trailer. I've got the smaller trailer there, but that'll be a lot of runs backwards and forwards. I've just checked and the field that Big Papa C did was field 1 that he said there was an issue with. So fingers crossed there's not with field 3. I'm currently working on my new gaming setup. Should be getting a desk fairly soon. Actually, if I put in there. So this is the transport company sell point. Oh, I should have gone further forward. That's better. So as I say, there's a trailer here. I'll use this. And yes, technically it belongs to me. Of course it does, but all adds to the narrative. So yeah, but it does mean I'm probably going to have to invest in a new TV, which is, yeah, that's going to be a bit of a chunk of change. I've got my TV in the front room. I do all my recording in my living room. That's why it's often a bit of an issue with noise and that kind of thing. But I'm trying to move it all outside. I had mentioned a couple of episodes ago that my son had moved out into his new flat with his flatmate. Which means his bedroom is now vacant, which means a lot of the stuff that was in the dining room and that kind of stuff has gone up into his room, which means I've now got space to set up an actual kind of gaming setup with my steering wheel, my pedals, my side panel, all the stuff as a regular kind of setup. Oh no, they've got a full grain tank. But I can't take the TV from the living room and put it with my gaming setup. So yeah, it's a bit of a... I don't know if I'm going to do that yet. So I missed the turning. I must go all the way down the end, don't I? Oh, that's annoying. Can't just turn here. Through the trees. Yeah, let's go through the brush. And then try and locate the harvester as well. Where is it? Which end? Oh, there it is. Is it facing the right way? Oh, yes, that's a bit of a result. That doesn't happen very often, does it? Right, fertilising should be done. There we go. I'm thinking of getting a grain bin, auger wagon at some point. Don't use them very often, but I'm thinking of going for a more traditional truck and trailer by the side of the field and then grain binning it over. Again, it's an option, it's just something to think about, isn't it? Right, let's get back into that. Let's get going, pipe in, and continue. Wow, so that did a strip and probably strip and 3/4, maybe a little bit more than that. Not quite 2 full strips for a full load. Yeah, okay. I will probably see you then sometime later. It may even be dark by the time I'm done. Potentially. It's only just 14 normally, but what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to roll back the cruise control a bit, so when I do the turns at the ends, it doesn't race off. Probably just keep it actually at the same speed that it harvests at. It's just easier to make the turns then. So I've got time to lift the header, turn it, without it all being a bit bonkers. Right, well, I'll see you on the flip side. The dark side of the moon. Heading to the dairy factory for our first offload of potentially 3 or 4 maybe. It's 5:30. It is taking some time. Sell point was in the middle, wasn't it, if I recall correctly from my map tour. So if I swing right way around, down between these two poles here. There we go. And this is where we're going to see what the contract is set on. Okay, we are unloading. From the front bin. Let's check the contract. Oh, that's worrying. Sat on 32%. Please tell me this doesn't. Tip side front, tip side back. Start overloading. Check the contract again. 34. Okay, we've gone past 33%. That's the first positive sign that maybe it's all right. Fingers crossed. Okay, so that's it. That's the first bit done. Does that say 27% transported for field 3? Nice. Or maybe you meant that bit 20 more than. Oh, okay. We won't know until we do the next load. See you sometime later. told you it was going to be getting dark. It's 7:33 and I may have just lucked out. I don't know if this is since update 1.4 or... I haven't really done many contracts, especially harvesting ones, for quite a while, but what used to happen was your contract on the harvest of the field would reach a point where you'd hit 80 or 90% or whatever it was. Then you'd take your stuff to sell and it would tell you how much percentage of the crop you'd sold. Until that hit 100%, your contract didn't complete, it didn't finish. That's why people have been ending up with contracts short, because they haven't supplied enough of the crop, whatever it might be. Normally there's an excess, so you earn a little bit extra. Weirdly, I did the third load over to the dairy factory and I was at 82% of crop delivered. I came back and carried on with the harvest. As I was going along this last strip with the harvester, it came up contract complete, but I haven't delivered any more. So it was on 82% of crop delivered, but if I go into this menu and scroll across now, that says contract complete, 38 grand completed, it will pay out. So that's good, but what I'm going to do first though is up at the dairy factory, the price for oats is over 1,000. All the others are what, 835, 597. It is dropping, but I've got, actually let's put the piping, turn the engine off and the lights off. I'll have to move the harvester back. The header needs a bit of repair work, I think, but I've got spare 49,000 litres of oats, which means that if I take that up and sell it for £1,000 for 1,000, that's another 49 grand on top of the 38 for the contract. Now maybe I would have got that anyway if it had done it the other way around. If I had had excess crop, potentially it would have been the same result, but I haven't had that happen before, where the contract completes before you've delivered all the crops. That seems a bit odd, but anyway, I'm happy with that. It's 7:35. I need to get this back sold, contract complete, because I need to start UFO watch, because it's any time from about 8ish when it gets dark. Where am I going? Next one down. Here. Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye out for some UFOs. So I need to go back to my farm up on the hill just to the east of the farm. There's a little deck chair on the hill, and that's where we're going to head to. No, don't. Pesky cars. So I'll see you at the dairy factory in a second. We'll make the money on this crop. Why not? And then complete the contract. I'm going to take on the fertilising contract. There's one for field 1, which pays out 40 something grand. Now I may have to pay out a fair bit on fertiliser on that, but I'm going to use the Kuhn rear fertiliser spreader to do that job. But that, again, that's a nice payout. I'll probably do that overnight in between watching for UFOs. Who knows what we might find. So up here, so let's unload the first load. It's all money in the bank. Nice. So that puts that at, what's that going to be? Knocking on a 90,000 contract. Right, then we go to, keep pressing the wrong button. There we go, collect. Absolutely, right, field 1 fertilising. I'm going to accept that contract now to kind of hold that in stasis, and I will do that. So we're up to 129 grand. We were down to 42. That's brilliant. Well, that was well worth doing. It's taken a while, let's be honest, it's taken a while, but it was worth the payout. what I'm going to do now, get the equipment, get the truck, the trailer taken back to the transport company, truck back to the yard, harvester back to the yard, and I will get up onto the hillside before it gets completely dark for UFO watch. Okay, back at the yard with our harvester. The header needs a little bit of repair, I think. Yeah, it does. 62, that's alright. So header's repaired. We'll sort the harvester out probably in the morning. Let's turn the lights out. We'll park that up. But we need to head up the hill. I think our soybean is growing in field 9. Now I've got to make sure I pick the right hill. I think it's this one. Torch on. Settle myself in with a nice cold beverage and something tasty to eat. Now, I need to do this without falling and injuring myself. Where is it? Is it up there? Looks like there's something up on that one. Here we go. Fantastic. Whoa. There we go. Already. What is that? That is the weird... The timing couldn't have been better. It's only 7:45. And that's heading out towards 51, isn't it? Oh, Jim. Jim. I honestly could not have timed that better. Are there any more? Light out. Well, that's it. I'm settling in for the long haul. That was weird, but so cool. That's Star Peak Restaurant, isn't it? So it's out this direction, is it? We need to be looking. The direction the chair is facing. See if we get any more. There we go. A bit done today. New cedar. We've planted field 9, which is fantastic. Oh, there we go. The lights have gone even dimmer. The lights, like, ding, just switch the sun on and off. Yeah, new cedar. We've planted. Done a big contract on field 1, and it worked perfectly. And we've made a load of money. Can't ask for more than that. Really happy. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.